there was a big time period where everybody was white on TV and shit. And then out of nowhere, there was this explosion of black characters on black TV. You know, you got like fucking what was Jamie? Was it the Jamie Foxx show? I'm just fucking.
I think it might have been Jamie. I don't.
But yeah, the Jamie Foxx show.
Jamie
You got
Foxx
like
show.
Moesha. You got like even like for little kids, you got like Sister. You got Smart Guy.
WB. Shout out to WB. That stupid dancing frog. It's kind of a racist.
The WB.
but like the WB had it locked down.
But we do have a more fun topic for you. If you stick around to this point, we promise it's a little bit more lighthearted. We thought that it would be interesting. There's a lot of backlash about white actors playing black characters or playing people of other races. We had this thing a few months back in our little video game chat on PS5. Where we realized a beloved movie from our childhood, Short Circuit, that one of our favorite characters from there was this Indian man, was played by a white dude in brown face, and it blew our minds.
Yeah.
So we thought it would be fun to do a reverse of that. We want to talk about. We're just gonna like think of some. We've got some characters that we think that they might actually be better served if they were played by a minority. Minor specifically, like I think they would be improved by being played by being a black character rather than a white character. But we'll just open it up to any white character that you think would be better served being played by a minority. And we can start off with Pooch, unless Doey actually has one ready once he realizes that he's muted.
Can I say one?
Yes.
That's not fiction.
Yeah, go for it.
Imagine a black Donald Trump.
I mean, sad. Terrible.
Would he still have the blonde hair? Would he still like have the blonde hair? He'd have some kind of like spray tan going on.
Or it'd be like The Negotiator when they dyed Samuel L. Jackson's hair like bronze. It was terrible. It'd be something like that.
It's a good movie.
I don't remember that.
It is a good movie. How did we not know that this guy wasn't gay? He's obviously gay from like, what's this guy's name? The Negotiator?
Who are we talking about?
The guy that has sex with young teenagers?
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Kevin
I forgot he was in that
Oh,
movie.
yeah, he's a creeper, man.
He's gay, but he was gay from a long time ago. He's a sassy man. He's sassy.
He's
He's always been sassy.
He's also allegedly a sex criminal. Like,
Yeah.
Sadly. He's one of my favorite actors, and I love a lot of his movies.
is he really? I'm trying to think of a movie of his that I really enjoy, and I cannot come up with one.
American Beauty.
And American Beauty, though,
K-Pax.
dude, American Beauty is so hard to watch now, especially knowing that like he preys on young. Yeah,
I mean, he preys on a young girl in the movie.
yeah.
Really, she preys on him, but there's a weird power dynamic there.
Yeah,
And it's a good movie, but
it's
he's a creepy dude who shows restraint, okay, and denies this girl coming on to him. Okay, he shuts it down, and he's like,
I guess
maybe
he
when you're a
does
little
shut
older.
it down at the end
He's
of the
like,
movie.
maybe when you're a little older, you know, he kisses on her a little bit. He goes, you know what, this ain't right. Maybe when you're a little older.
He
you know?
definitely goes too far, though. Like,
He goes too far for sure.
okay,
But I mean, he had the opportunity to go all the way, and he showed restraint.
okay.
Can I
Pooch,
just spitball another one real quick?
Get us out of Kevin Spacey. Someone take us away from Kevin Spacey.
Can I spitball one? Just another one. I would love to see a black Sherlock Holmes, like a detective, but of like a caliber of like thinking of way people don't think and stuff like that.
What was that? Wasn't there kind of like that equivalent? It's obviously it's not like Sherlock Holmes, but what's his name? Idris Elba. What was that detective show that he did that was a British detective show? I always got like Sherlock Holmes vibes from that, but I only saw like 2 episodes, so like maybe it's not a straight
I'm
comparison.
not too sure.
I know what you're talking about. I completely forgot the name. It's like one name.
Yeah, it's just like his character's name, right? But I don't remember. Okay, Pooch, who do you have? I know you've got at least one.
So it's kind of a given, and it's happened. But I think it's a shame. You're going to create a character, Captain America. How's he going to be a white man?
Exactly.
Honestly, he could be black, and that would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole gang of shit, storylines and all that stuff that, you could play off of. Granted, you'd have to change some stuff because there's no way in hell that like the United States in the 1940s is going to pick a black man to be the super soldier, the face of the military, right?
Well,
there's no way that's going to happen.
Well, the way you would change it would be like what they did in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier thing, where like they found the black Captain America, like the original black super soldier. And he was like, he's like, they tested that shit on us after Captain America got frozen because they were trying to create a super soldier and they wanted to use us as test subjects. Like it would be some kind of backdrop like that, just given, the racial tones of the country in that time period.
Right. So I think a black person or even a Native American.
Oh, that'd be
Captain America. That'd be really cool.
That'd be rad. I didn't even think about that. That would be badass.
Yeah. And then again with the Native American, there's a lot of interesting ways that character could go.
I like that. I think that would actually add a lot to the character. And Captain America is my favorite character, as you know. But yeah, I think that'd be fantastic. Do you have?
I don't know. People get really upset about this stuff. Like I was reading some threads today about people that are just so fucking mad that these writers don't just create great superheroes that are black or Hispanic or Native, whatever, right? Instead of just taking a white one and making them black or whatever. But it's like a lot of times they don't realize that all the good superheroes are white, unfortunately. Like there's some exceptions like Storm, Black Panther,
We're claiming we're claiming Moon Knight. We're claiming that live action Moon Knight.
There ain't a lot, all right? And it's not because someone decided intentionally to write them poorly. It's that oftentimes these characters are created, they're not quite loved by the people that consume the comic books. So then the writers just didn't write as many stories about these characters, so they're not as fleshed out and all these, and they're just not beloved by the people. And it's not because it's a bad character. Oftentimes it's just they're just not popular because in life, I just feel like we've hit the cap. Like we've got our list of superheroes. Like we ain't adding much.
Well, also like I grew up fairly poor. Trying to talk my parents into spending like $350 on a comic book was way harder than you would think that it should have been. Like the white people tend to be a little bit more well off in this country, so they're the ones that are consuming the media. So they're the ones that are they want to buy, much like us. They want to read about characters that are them. They want to read about a character they can relate to, and it's easier to relate to someone that's your skin color. I think that's also a driving force in this. Like a lot of these comics with minority characters, they had lower sales and volume. Like they moved less numbers. And not to mention, a lot of those characters were written back in like a time of even more increased racism than nowadays. So those minority characters were written as the bad guy or the one-off joke superhero or something, right? Like they weren't really fleshed out to the same level. What about you, Doy? You got one that's not Donald Trump?
But like for me, it's a toss up because imagine if we had a black Indiana Jones. I think that would be cool. I think like you could just pick and take your favorite. Look at what Finn did to Star Wars. Unfortunately, they did not use him to what I think would be appropriate.
Disney dropped the ball.
He should have been a shared Jedi with Rey. I think that would have been cool.
Yes. Yeah, I just feel like there's so many chances that you could insert a person of color and it just make it pretty much everybody else is going to be white in the movie, right? From what we know. So like you might as well make somebody prominent, you know what I mean? Beside Scarlett Johansson.
So Pooch, I've got one, but I don't feel super great about it because the one that I would recast is a super villain. I don't know that like I'm a big fan of recasting like a white villain as a black villain, right? But I think that it would actually add a lot to it. I think Lex Luthor should be a black man.
Ooh, that would be good.
I think it makes sense because like Lex Luthor's thing has always been his ego, right? Like he's jealous of Superman. But let's say you twist that into he's angry at Superman because here's this man from another planet. He's an alien. He's not a human. And he comes down, but because he happens to look like a white man and he has all these powers, the people love him. But here's Lex Luthor, and he's Lex Luthor. That's a different guy.
What was that move called? He'll put you on his shoulders and he'll just fucking destroy you.
I don't remember.
Lex.
Dude,
Lex
you just need one
wins.
comment.
Was it
to
the
put me
lion?
into
The lion
WWF.
tamer?
Dude, it was bad. That shit's like a fucking. He'll give you a slip disc with that shit.
but here's Lex Luthor. Like he's bringing technology to the people. He's bringing power to the people. He's making all these amazing technological innovations, and the people still don't fucking love him as much as Superman because Superman's a white man that is in the media, and like it's. I think it would add a level of complexity to Lex Luthor that is not quite there because I don't know that I really believe that his ego is the main driving force behind Lex Luthor and all these stories. I think it gets a little ridiculous sometimes that the smartest man in the world is this petty, basically. But I don't feel great about like replacing a white villain with a black villain because there's enough
I'm
minority
cool with that.
villains.
I feel like villains are the best characters. Right? They tend to have.
Sometimes, yeah.
They're the most realistic. Like they have motivations that are more human than the regular character that happens to be in a comic book. So I don't know. I've always found, and again, maybe it's just me being a ghetto bastard. Like we root for Scarface, you know what I mean? He's the bad guy of the movie and shit like that, where we just kind of root for the villains and shit. Like I don't know. Like when I was watching Black Panther, I couldn't help but like empathize with Killmonger. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're not doing this the way that I would do it, but like I hear everything you're saying. Like it's hard to disagree. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I love Lex Luthor as a character, especially in some comics. He's really fucking cool. Yeah, you're not wrong either. It's kind of crazy to think that the smartest man in the world has. He just can't get past this mental block with this one person.
Yep.
I mean, in the old comics, man, this Superman blew his hair right off, and he's been bald ever since. So he's pissed.
I was reading his golden age or whatever the fuck age, like origin story. I was like, that's batshit insane. And they're like, but this is the post-crisis one, and this is the one that more people have been adapting. I was like, okay, that one makes way more sense.
He's like mixing some test tube shits up. And he's like, woo, and then he fucking makes a chemical fire, and Superman busts into the lab, and he's all like, and blows the flames out. But the blow was so powerful, it ripped all of Lex Luthor's hair follicles off in such a way that it'll never grow back. So I don't even know if he has eyebrows in that era of comic book. Like, it was bad. I don't know. I hate Superman too.
Yeah, Superman is a very boring character. Superman's the other one I was thinking, but they have done Black Superman. When he died, I think there was Steel or whatever that took over. They've kind of attempted that.
Yeah, it's more like not quite a Black Superman, but was it John Steel? Is the guy's name?
I think it's something like that.
It's the Man of Steel. even though that was a name. Or no. Actually, it was just Steel. Actually, was his name. Yeah, and he's like in the all metal suit or something. I don't know. But yeah, but he was ripped, and he rocked the sledgehammer too for a little bit.
Yeah, like John Henry.
Yeah. Maybe, no, his name might be John Henry.
Was
Irons.
his name actually John Henry?
Wait,
Irons?
hold on. Maybe I'm mixing these two characters.
just
Anyway.
so the audience knows, we do love comic books, but we're not 100% comic book experts, and there's 5 million out there. So if we get some shit wrong, just like let us know in the comments. But like, don't be too upset at us, because who even knows which storyline is the one that matters in these comic books?
Be plenty upset with us, okay? Hate me. I'll fucking. It gives me all right. Okay, another one that's not at all an answer to your question, but I feel like it's in the spirit in a sense. I would say Wolverine, in no way, shape, or form could that man be Canadian. He's too fucking angry. He's an American through and through. Through and fucking through. Like,
You know,
he ain't from Canada.
no shit. Wolverine was my actual, like, my answer that I felt good about, because here's what I think they could do with Wolverine as a black man. Obviously, Wolverine's a Canadian.
But he's a black American now.
Yeah, well, he's a
Okay,
Canadian.
'cause-
He's a Canadian superhero, right? So like, there's not the same like level of like I actually don't know. I don't know if there's the same level of like racial disparity and whatnot. But Wolverine didn't really find his home.
And with Native Americans, hell yeah. But I don't know about with black people.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But Wolverine didn't really find his home until he went and joined the X-Men, right? And they're an American superhero team. And before then, he was experimented on with the government, which is something that has happened historically in the U.S. to black men. He's from like the 1600s or 1700s or something, right? Like he's old as hell. So you could have used Wolverine through these old stories of him going through his slowly aging body and dealing with like the Civil War and like the slavery. And there's so many interesting stories they could tell if Wolverine was a black man that was actually experiencing all these moments in history.
You know, that's cool because the Wolverine Origins movie that came out, I think, it jacked. One of my lifelong dreams was I want Wolverine to be Abraham Lincoln, right? and so I was like, all right, cool. He's old enough to be Abraham Lincoln and to be the president of the United States. He gets shot in the head, but clearly doesn't kill Wolverine. So he comes back to life. He's like, all right, fuck it, I ain't gonna be president no more. I can't. But at that point, he's trying to change the country. So all this stuff, basically. And then he lives through all the eras. He fights in all the wars. But I could just remove the Abraham Lincoln plot line in my, like...
Your head canon?
The fictional... yeah, my head canon of my Wolverine character. And make him a black man. And then him fighting and... let's just say being like a slave... being a slave. And then fighting for his freedom in the Civil War. And all that stuff. It'd be pretty cool.
Dude, that's
Who
where
knows? He could go through a whole story arc where he was... maybe he's been fighting for freedom for so long and just not able to like live a good life. And then maybe for a while he's just like accepted his fate of like, you know what? I could kill all these people and all this stuff and get out of captivity and all that, but it ain't gonna change anything. So maybe he just becomes like what's the word? Like accepting of a poor situation for a while until he's like, nah, fuck it. I don't know. There could be a lot of cool stuff there, all right?
absolutely.
You might convince me. I was just going for the whole Canadian American thing, but I like the fact that he's not Canadian. Now he's a black American. And this is good. And then this will piss the people off.
Dude, and that's where he gets his nickname from, fighting the Civil War, because he just is fucking up these Confederate soldiers at night and just slaughtering them. They're just ripped apart, right, with his claws. So they're like, oh, the Wolverine got into camp, and that's where his name comes from. I think there's so many cool things they could do with a black Wolverine. I think that'd be real badass.
I could dig this.
What else y'all got?
I have one more that's not very well thought out, really, but because I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and because so many of the characters, mind you, there's a lot of people of color in the game, but there's a lot of white people. And not that there's anything wrong with a lot of white people, it just feels so weird that there's such a very strong, like, like Native American culture that's going on in those games. It feels weird. All these white people. It's like, yo, like, how about Aloy should have just been like a Native American? Like, I don't know. I don't think she should have been like a redheaded white. Like, they made sure there's no mistaking this is a white woman. Like, she got red hair. Like,
Played by Ashley Birch, I think, right?
yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah, I heard
I
she
like
did
Ashley.
amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't
Also,
aware of that.
gotten shit for doing a black scent.
Oh
The
yeah,
whole
with Tiny Tina.
thing.
That is
Yeah.
fair. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's fair, but it's a fair point to bring up that I don't know if it was fair that she got shit for that because she'd been doing that for years and years and years.
I don't think it's fair personally because I just think of who Tiny Tina is as a character, and I think like she went all in creating this character. I think she does it. I think it's one of the best characters that Borderlands has.
I think it's done with a lot of love, and I would disagree. The best character that Borderlands did was Scooter. Catch a ride, bud.
I have no idea who that is.
You don't remember Scooter? He's the one that gives you all the cars. He sacrificed himself in one of the Borderlands games. That's why he's not in the third one.
He's the kid of the big fat chick in Borderlands 3, right?
No, he's her brother.
Brother, okay.
And he also wants to have sex with her. Borderlands is weird. It's a weird series.
Yeah, so that,
So you think Aloy should be black, or you just think there should be more just people of color in general? And
I wish there was like a black Tomb Raider with like big nalgas, like big booty action.
just like but it would have been like on the PlayStation 1 era, so it would have been like just blocky, pointy
booty.
polygons on the back.
Though he wants some triangle titties.
Yo, I need them.
But yeah, the whole
How
Ashley
come no
Birch
dead
thing,
or alive characters are black?
yeah, the Japanese people are really weird when it comes to dark skinned people. They love them some white girls. That's why in a lot of games you get fully Japanese characters that'll have white names. They'll be blonde. And it's like, ain't no Japanese people blonde. And I say white names, sorry, like American names or
Anna.
English names. And it's
Yeah.
like the chick Anne in Persona. I think they might have said that she modeled in like England or something, but I think she's Japanese. Like, you know what I'm
She's
saying?
half Japanese, half white.
They just wanted to put somebody who was blonde in the game. Look at Ryuji. He's blonde for no reason.
No reason.
Like, they love them some white people in Japan.
I don't think I can actually say any of their names because I have seen maybe 2 episodes ever in my life. And I don't actually care which one of them is black in this suggestion that I'm about to give. One of those characters in Friends could have been black, though. I don't care which one. We were talking about this before the podcast, and I told y'all I had numbers, and I do. Let me pull those numbers up. Y'all know that there were 236 episodes of Friends. I Googled this, so it's obviously right because that's what Google tells me. 236 characters. I found a BuzzFeed list of every black character that ever appeared in Friends. There are 27 over the span of 236 episodes, and a lot of them on this list don't have names.
27 appearances or 27 characters?
27 appearances.
Wow.
Most of these are not recurring characters. Most of these don't even have names. This guy is called Mattress King Delivery Guy. This one is just called the Casting Director, Security Guard. Like, that show could have used some color.
It's crazy. There was a big time period where everybody was white on TV and shit. And then out of nowhere, there was this explosion of black characters on black TV. You know, you got like fucking what was Jamie? Was it the Jamie Foxx show? I'm just fucking.
I think it might have been Jamie. I don't.
But yeah, the Jamie Foxx show.
Jamie
You got
Foxx
like
show.
Moesha. You got like even like for little kids, you got like Sister, you got Smart Guy.
WB, shout out to WB, that stupid dancing frog. It's kind of a racist.
The WB.
but like the WB had it locked down.
They had a lot of color in their shows, honestly.
Yeah.
There's
And the Cosby Show, for all his shittiness, the Cosby Show is amazing.
It was good.
Like it was cool to have a bunch of black characters on TV that never really spoke about their blackness necessarily, which maybe they should have or something like that, but they just never really discussed it. They would just happen to be a black family, and they were normal. Like, they were not like hoodlums, they weren't they were just a normal family, like most black families in America. So it's like, well, when I say like, these people were very well off. So I don't know if that's like most black families. I'm saying they were normal, like most black families. Like, they ate dinner, they went to work, they went to school, and they lived a life. Like,
they had the same struggles that everyone else had. Like, it was...
right. And it's just shitty that oftentimes the depiction on TV is a lot of like negativity, and I think the Cosby Show did a cool thing of normal shit on TV.
I mean, that's the whole spirit of this conversation, right? Is that that's the reason we're doing this thought experiment, basically, is because it would be nice to see some characters of color that aren't just the bad guy. They're not just the caricature of what you think a ghetto person is, or what you think a drug dealer looks like, or it would be nice to see some extra influences. That's why we think it would be interesting to explore some of these characters as a minority. It would be nice to see. You have any other characters that come to mind, Doey? I see you thinking over there. No, we kind of caught you off guard a little bit.
I was thinking of porn stars. But the
that's
only thing
another problem. No, seriously, that's another problem. Is there's not really any black porn stars like that. Or
Lexington Steele?
No, like women. Like men don't like the consumers of content on the internet tend to be mostly white, and they tend to gravitate towards white people.
That's interesting. I've never
So you
I've
just
never
see
looked into that.
Look at all the titty streamers on Twitch. They're all white. And look at the ASMR people. There's a couple Asian people, but they're pretty much all white. And
That's
then,
interesting.
I can't even think of a single the only Mia Khalifa is the only person of color that's a porn star that I could even think of.
And you're talking about of like that high, like known caliber, like
no, of course there are.
Yeah. I'm clarifying for the audience.
I think if you go to Pornhub and scroll through like they have like all the ranks, like the top porn stars and shit, I don't think you're gonna see black people, like black women on the list.
Yeah, just clarifying for that guy in the comments that it was about to jump in there and be like, I'm gonna do a Google search and list every black porn star I find. That's not what we're saying, dude. Calm down, bud.
I want an Asian Lexington Steele. Where are y'all at?
Subvert expectations. All right? There's a lot of stereotypes about the sizes of Asian men. Okay.
If you're an Asian man with a thick, girthy dick, send it to our email. We'll make sure we shout you out.
Not the
we'll
dick,
give you
just
that
the name,
thick, girthy cosign.
I don't approve. Just send it to Doey. You know what? Just send that shit directly to Doey. He's got his DMs open.
DMs are open.
Just to be clear, these are solicited dick pics straight to Doey. Okay, he's asking for them.
Vaginas,
all you girthy Asian men out there,
I'll rate it. I'll give it a 1 through 10. I'll give you a nice little what I like about it, what I don't like about it. It's a little too hairy. You got to shave.
You're gonna critique the cock.
Oh my god, this is the start of Doey's OnlyFans. Is what's happening right here. Yeah, I think I got to get us out of here. I think it's time. I think it's time for us to go. We spent a little bit too much time together. Hey y'all, we appreciate you sticking around this long. If you made it this far, We'll see how this video does. We think that we covered a lot here. I'm really dreading making these thumbnails this week, but we'll make something happen. We'll figure out some magic. We think that race in America is a complicated thing. We think that it's good to think about. I don't agree with people that think that the way to fix issues is not to talk about them and to pretend they didn't happen. You know me. I think that communication is the best way to fix any issue, racism included. We hope you've enjoyed if you've stayed this far. We hope you've enjoyed our content. We're trying to we just want to build a community. We just want to build a community of love and acceptance, and we want the ability to share ideas with each other and debate these ideas in a safe and positive way without it just turning into a screaming match. That's what we try to put out there. That's the positive and positivity and vibes that we're trying to put out, is that kind of community. We're another 3-man tonight. As you can see, we're definitely missing our Tony, but we're going to keep bringing you content as long as we can. So
I miss his girthy personality.
Everything doesn't have girth. Everything's not a shaft.
You can tell that him and Zeus have been hanging out a lot, because Zeus dropped the girth word about 20 times on that PlayStation chat earlier. But
some would say he has a girthy personality now.
We are Tony, Doey, Buchel, and me, Mateo. And this is the One Up Podcast. And we love every single one of you. And go one up yourself. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Later, guys.